Joining us, really, groundbreaking developments coming out of Nkandla there. And this should, as I've been speaking to Ulrich Roux, should the court find the case in Zuma's favor, this will certainly be unprecedented, isn't it?
Indeed, in a way, I'm no legal expert, but it would certainly be unprecedented should the court rule in favor of the former president. Particularly, you've just heard the legal analyst saying it would be unprecedented for the lower court to essentially rule something that has been decided by a higher court. But Advocate Dalempofu in that particular briefing saying they would be ventilating the merits of their case in court, and particularly knowing that the Minister of Police, Pegicele, and President Ramaphosa have decided not to oppose that particular interdict of trying to stay the execution by the Minister of Police to arrest the former president, knowing that it's only the State Capture Commission of Inquiry that's filed a responding affidavit opposing the application by the former president and the Helen Suzman Foundation.
Well, he was almost short of commending the apartheid regime when he said that, under apartheid, he was persecuted as Zuma. But now, in the post-apartheid dispensation, now his family is persecuted for no reason. And he was very, very emotional when he made that point.
The former president was essentially saying that all relations have broken down between himself and this current administration, saying that his children's bank accounts are being persecuted. You saw him being flanked by his daughter, Tutu Zile Zuma Sambudla, there in that particular briefing. You know the relations that and issues that have happened to his son, Tutuzane Zuma, and his relations to the Gupta family, the bank accounts of the Gupta family also being closed in the country. So it actually feels like this current administration of President Ramaphosa is coming after him and trying to imprison him. For instance, when he says that in modern day democracy, you have the suspended Secretary General of the ANC, Ace Magashule, being prohibited from addressing political gatherings, essentially saying that this administration under President Ramaphosa is applying apartheid-style tactics. Whether that is true or not remains to be seen. We do know that the Minister of Police, Pegicele, when we spoke to him, said that he is not going to be drawn into a battle that could be catastrophic here in Nkandla. He's just going to reinforce the roadblocks in and around Nkandla so that COVID-19 regulations are to a relative extent met and regulated here in Nkandla. But that was seemingly not met when you saw those visuals that were playing earlier on of Ngraingwenya having an altercation with one of the roadblocks where the police officers were situated. So it will essentially, the story moves now from here in Nkandla and moves to Pietermaritzburg at the High Court, where the former president will be applying for that stay of execution. We do anticipate that after that particular issue is ventilated in the court, we will have a clearer picture of what will happen to the former president in the course of this week, whether he will go to the Westville Correctional Services Center. It actually is very interesting that the former president says that he is ready as of today to go and serve his sentence, whether he dies inside the correctional services facility or not. But he is guided by the majority view of his family and his comrades within the ANC, whom he's seemingly saying that his comrades who came to see him here persuaded him otherwise to go for another attempt to the judiciary and to the Constitutional Court, whom he feels that judges themselves must not abuse the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa. Answering a question by our very own Simpiwe Makanya, he feels that the current Constitutional Court is trampling upon his rights, and they are in a way trampling upon the very same Constitution that they implored to defend themselves.
And you mentioned the flouting of COVID-19 regulations earlier, and I see that one journalist posed that question to him, why he wasn't wearing a mask when addressing his supporters. And he did not give a clear answer. And of particular importance, I would say, perhaps, is, I mean, I want to pose this question to you: the significance of Amabutho having descended on Nkandla, Nkandla residents, and that particular statement from the royal residence of the Zulu king, saying that the distance themselves from the cleansing ceremony by the Amabutho. So, is this an indication that there could be a bit of tension between KwaNxamalala and the Zulu royal household?
I wouldn't say there is tension between KwaNxamalala and the Zulu royal household, because that may be taking it a stretch too far. But what we can say is that Ubaba Mgiliji is essentially, in the words of the Zulu royal household, was not sanctioned to be leading Amabutho here at KwaNxamalala KwaDakwatunusa, in the home of former President Jacob Zuma, flanking them, singing by them, having their shields as they chanted those songs, coming up with the former president to show a force. That was not sanctioned by the Zulu royal household. As you would know, that Isilo Samabandla does not involve himself in party political activities. Even with the late King Goodwill Zwelithini, as much as he had a good working relation with former President Jacob Zuma, with Dr. Zwelini Mkhize whilst he was still the Premier of the province, with Willis Mkhunu when he was still the Premier of the province, and the ANC leadership and the IFP leadership in the province. In fact, you've had the Prime Minister of the Zulu Nation, Dr. Mangosuthu Buthelezi, Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi, Umntwana, he was supposed to have a briefing today to speak as an elder of the Parliament in South Africa about the current political activities going on here. So the Zulu royal household essentially is saying that they did not sanction Amabutho to come here to defend the former president. The former president answering those questions, saying that he himself is Ibutu, and Amabutho Amanye came to show solidarity and support to him on the virtue that he himself is Ibutu. But the Zulu royal household, the king's regiments, were not sanctioned to be here to defend the former president, as he does not engage in important party political matters.
All right. Samkele Maseko, great chatting to you, man. Thank you so much for your analysis and for keeping an eye and ear on the ground for us. That was our reporter Samkele Maseko speaking to us live outside the Zuma residence in Nkandla in KwaZulu-Natal. And for more reaction to what former